Happy Friday, Kimberly Panthers. This is Mr. Sally. It's actually Sunday, so I want to say happy Sunday to all of my Kimberly parents and students who watch my weekly video bulletin. I want to welcome you to another edition of my bulletin. This weekly bulletin is taking place at home. I did not get an opportunity to do the video on Friday, but there's some important information that I wanted to ensure that you got before Monday. It's about 3:30 on this Sunday afternoon, and I'm sitting here in my office at home recording this video for you. So please stay tuned for some important announcements as we strive to build hope in action, belief in action, success in action. One important reminder, I want to remind our parents about student discipline and being sure to support our boys and girls as they are not only getting ready in the morning by encouraging them to exhibit their best Kimberly Panther behavior as they get onto the school bus, as they enter the building, as they travel from class to class, and as they get into the cafeteria. I'm sure that some of our parents in our upper grades heard about an altercation that took place in the cafeteria this past Friday. We had to actually take care of some students that were not exhibiting the best behavior and the best interpersonal skills with one another. So please understand that at this time of the year, parents, I know that our boys and girls are getting a little anxious. It's colder outside, so some days we aren't able to get outside because of the weather. Also, the time change has our kids messed up. It gets darker faster, so they're not able to get outside and play as much. And so it's important that we remind them that school is a place of learning. And if they are unable to keep their hands to themselves, that they will have to spend some time at home. And we want that to be a last resort, and we hate to have to do that. But please be reminded that that is a school policy and a district policy that we will uphold, that if students are physically engaged with one another, they will be suspended. Outside of all of that, now let's get to the fun stuff. We have our cookie dough sale took place earlier this year, and our cookie dough will be delivered on Monday. Pickup time is from 1:30 until 3:30. If you are unable to make it during that time to pick up your cookie dough, please be sure to call and ask for Miss Harris in the front office. She's our parent liaison, and she will hopefully be able to make some additional arrangements with you. Again, that cookie dough must be picked up by the parent, especially if it's more than one small box. If it's a small box, we may be able to send that home with your son or daughter on the school bus, but I wouldn't want that if I were you, because once that product leaves us, it's now your responsibility. So if something happens to that product between the time it leaves school and gets home, if it's sent home with a student, that's going to be your responsibility with the person for which you sold that product. So again, parents, please plan to pick up cookie dough tomorrow between 1:30 and 3:30. Our Ronald McDonald Asthma Van will be here this week on the 14th. If you feel like there is a need for your child to see the asthma van and they have not already been seeing the van, please send a note to the school and we'll be sure that your child is able to be seen on Thursday when our Ronald McDonald van is here. Some good news for our parents and our school community. A couple years ago, we were added to the state's turnaround list. And that list was for schools that were deemed failing by the state of Georgia and the criteria by which they used. We've been working extremely hard over the last few years. And, last year I had some exciting news that we were removed from that school turnaround list, or the failing schools list. We were removed, and we also made it into the beating the odds list. Well, this year we didn't get the beating the odds certification, but we did get removed from the final list that the state has, which is a state promise list. So last year when we got off of the state turnaround list or failing schools list, we were moved to the promise list, which basically they're looking at schools, they're looking at the 3-year average of the school's CCRPI score. And so if that 3-year average did not meet a certain criteria, then we were continued to be looked at by the state. So this year I got word from my deputy superintendent on Friday that we were officially removed from the state promise list, which now means we have no state designation as it relates to any of the 3 designations that the state gives you for schools they're looking at that are not performing. So I want to say congratulations to our boys and girls, congratulations to our teachers, but more importantly, congratulations to our parents for your hard work with your boys and girls to ensure that they are getting better and better at meeting academic standards. Our school will be participating in the Washington, D.C. trip along with Continental Colony and some other Thorough Cluster schools, just as we did last year. Last year, we only had 3 students to participate in this trip. I'm hoping that we have more of our boys and girls who will take advantage of this. There is an informational meeting this week on Thursday at 5 o'clock at Continental Colony Elementary School. So parents, if you could please come out to that meeting. We're trying to schedule a meeting to take place at Kimberly as well, but the first meeting will take place at Continental Colony. The trip is about $600 this year. And the boys and girls will have a phenomenal time and a great learning experience. So I hope that you're able to come to the informational meeting. Coming to the meeting does not obligate you to have your student attend the trip, but it does give you all the necessary information that you need to make an educated decision about it. Our book fair begins at the end of this week and will go until next week. So it starts on Friday the 15th, and then we'll go all the way up until we get out for Thanksgiving break. So please know that your child will probably come home and say they've been to the book fair, they've seen some wonderful books that they can choose from. Please send money for the books so your boy and girl will have something to read at home. Talking about Thanksgiving, before we go to break, we always have an opportunity to celebrate our families and having them come together at our school. This week on the 15th, which is Friday, we will have our first of 2 Thanksgiving family luncheons. Now this year we've divided out the lunches to only have 3 grade levels participate each day. So this coming Friday the 15th will be our Thanksgiving luncheon for our pre-K and kindergarten students from 10:40 until 11:25. Our second grade students from 11 o'clock until 11:45, and our 4th grade students from 11:30 until 12:15. I apologize for messing up those times. I'm looking at my computer screen while looking back at you, but I'll give those times again. Again, the Thanksgiving luncheon will take place on Friday the 15th for pre-K and kindergarten from 10:40 to 11:25, grade 2 from 11 until 11:45, and grade 4 from 11:30 until 12:15. On Monday is when grades 1, 3, and 5 will participate in the luncheon, and those times are for grade 1, 10:40 to 11:25, grade 3, 11 to 11:45, and grade 5, 11:30 to 12:15. But again, that's on Monday the 18th. Please note that you will not be able to pull your kid from if it's not their day for the luncheon, they will not be able to participate in the luncheon on that day. There is a little bit of overlap for some of the grade levels on those days, and so you might be able to, as a parent, sit and wait and have lunch with both of your kids if you come during that overlap time. But please note that we will be really working hard at ensuring that our boys and girls only participate during the time that they're allotted, so that way there's plenty of space and room for the parents and their kids to come and eat. All of the luncheons will take place in the cafeteria. Those grade levels that are not participating in the luncheon will get sack lunches on that day. There is an important parent engagement conference taking place on Saturday the 16th. You should have gotten a flyer about that, but I'm sure there's also some information on our district website. The Parent and Family Engagement Conference is taking place on Saturday the 16th from 8:30 to 3 at Thorough High School. Please join us if you're able to. There are going to be a lot of sessions there and presenters with a vast amount of information to support our parents. This coming Sunday, the 17th, is our second 5K that our school will be participating in. The first 5K, the proceeds went to the school. We actually earned $1,000. I'm actually going to use those funds to pay for our boys and girls, about 100 of our boys and girls to participate in or to attend, the Alvin Ailey dance performance at the Fox Theater. But this next 5K is our Girls on the Run. And so we've participated in Girls on the Run for about I think this is our 3rd year participating in Girls on the Run, and we've had a Girls on the Run team. And so this year it's taking place on Sunday, November 17th at Georgia State Stadium from 9 until 12. If you have not already registered for that, you want to make sure you get registered for that this week in order to ensure that you'll be able to get a t-shirt. If you don't register before the end of the week, you may not, actually if you don't register before Monday or Tuesday, you may not be able to get a t-shirt because they may not have enough. Information about registration, you can actually just Google Girls on the Run Atlanta, and all the information will come up, and you'll be able to select our school to let them know that you're registering as a part of Kimberly Elementary School, and then we hope to see you there on Sunday. Our fall picture day, if you did not like the pictures that your son or daughter took earlier this year, there's a makeup day on Tuesday the 19th. So that's not this week, but that's the following week. We do have our monthly dance coming up the next week on the 20th. And again, I want to remind our parents that our dances and movie nights now end at 4 p.m. So it's important that you are there on time to pick up your son or daughter by 4 p.m. Progress reports will also be sent home next week, and so we're looking forward to those. We will do as we have done in the past. They will be sent home with your son or daughter, and then we will also actually, this one will not be mailed home. The progress reports are not mailed home, just the report cards. So progress reports will come home on the 21st, which is right that Thursday before we go to break. Just another reminder, Thanksgiving break is the last week in November, November 25th through the 29th, and so our school and the district will be closed. I hope that you enjoyed this brief video with our updates. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you all during our Thanksgiving luncheons on the 15th and the 18th. If you know anyone that is not getting this message because they are either not connected to us through the APS app, or they are not on Class Dojo, or they're not following us on Facebook and Twitter, please ask them what's going on. They need to get connected to one of those avenues of communication, because that's how all of our information goes out. I look forward to talking to you next week, and have a great Sunday afternoon.